Hi Hopscotchers! Today we're going to celebrate Thanksgiving by making a turkey and hopscotch. To do this, we're going to draw one feather and then copy it to make the rest. Our feather is going to be made of 4 colors, starting with a wide brown line, a medium pink line, a small orange line, and a tiny yellow line. Let's get started. First, let's choose our artist. I'm going to pick SpacePod because SpacePod loves to make art and chill. We're going to add some code to SpacePod so it can draw the first feather. Tap When Game Starts, and then add a purple Draw Trail block. The first layer of the feather is brown, so change trail color to brown. And let's make the width of this line 40. If you're making this on an iPad, you'll want to use a bigger number like 80. Then type 100 into the Move Forward bubble. And press play to check it out. Great! Thanks, SpacePod! So now we want to tell SpacePod to go back to the starting point before it starts to draw the next line. Press the pencil icon in the upper right corner to return to the code. Tap beneath the first Move Forward block and add another red Move Forward block. To make SpacePod move back to where it started, type -100 into the bubble. If you're using an iPad, use a bigger number for these values like 300. Press play and let's make sure it's correct. Awesome! Now we're ready to add our colorful layers. Go back to the code, add another Draw Trail block beneath that Draw Trail block, and choose the next color. I'm going to use pink. Let's set the width to 20. If you're using an iPad, make it 60. Tap beneath the first Move Forward block, add another red Move Forward block, and type -100 into the bubble. Close this block by tapping the arrow at the top of the block. And we're going to add another Draw a Trail block. Choose the next color. I'm going to choose orange and set the width to 10. If you're using an iPad, make it 40. Tap beneath the first Move Forward block, add another red Move Forward block, and type in -100. Close that block by tapping the arrow. And it's time to add our last layer. Can you guess what we do? Add another Draw a Trail block. Choose the last color. I'm going to make it yellow. And set the width to 5. If you're using an iPad, make it 20. Tap beneath the first Move Forward block, add another red Move Forward block, and type in -100. Got all that? Now let's close up this last Draw a Trail block, just to keep our code neat, and then push play to test it out. Woot woot! That's one good looking feather! But it takes way more than one feather to make a tail. Are we really going to have to recreate all that code for each one? Fortunately, the answer is no, thanks to custom rainbow blocks. These blocks serve as containers, and you can put whatever code you want inside. Then you can use this block anywhere you want in the project. When you change the code inside a custom block, it changes in every place you use that block. Go back to the code, tap above the first Draw a Trail block, but below the When the Game Starts, and tap New Block. Let's name this custom block Feather. Make sure all your Draw a Trail blocks are closed, and then drag all of your code into this custom block. To drag a block, press down on the 3 grippy lines on the right side, hold and pull the block out to the right, and then drag it up. Make sure you keep the original order. If you delete a block, like I just did, shake your device to undo. There we go, got it back. So when you're done, you should have the brown layer, the pink layer, the orange layer, and the yellow layer, all in a row. Take your time, and if you get stuck, pause and rewind the video. When you're done, tap the arrow in the corner of the feather block to close it up. Now that we have our feather block, we can make a full tail. Each one of the feathers points in a slightly different direction than the one before it, so we need to tell SpacePod to turn before it draws the next feather. Go back to the code, and tap underneath this feather block, and add a turn block. Type 15 into the bubble. This will make SpacePod turn 15 degrees before it draws the next feather. Press play and let's test it out. Great, we're getting there. But I need 13 feathers, and I don't want to pull out a feather block and a turn block and a feather block and a turn block and a feather block and you get it. I'm tired just thinking about it. Fortunately, there's a faster way. Go back to the code. Tap the blue control flow icon at the bottom of the screen and add a repeat block. Make sure it's just a repeat block and not a repeat forever block, or SpacePod will spend the rest of its life drawing feathers. Type 13 into the bubble, and then drag the feather block and the turn block inside of the repeat block. Make sure to keep that order, so feather goes first, followed by the turn block. We're also going to tell SpacePod to pick up the pace when it's drawing. Tap below when game starts and above the repeat block. And let's add a red set speed block. Your character's default speed is 400, so let's set SpacePod's speed at 5,000. That's some turbo speed. Press play and let's see how it works. Whoa! Heyo, what a great tail! The last step is to put a body on this tail. First, we need to move SpacePod out of the way. Go back to the code, tap above the set speed block, and add a set invisibility block. Type 100 into this bubble. Now SpacePod will draw the tail, but we won't be able to see it. Finally, we need to add a body to the tail. Tap the X to close out of SpacePod's rules, press the plus button at the bottom of the screen, and choose your character. I'm going to choose Toucan, the third cousin of the turkey. Now position your character a little bit above your artist. Great. Now I want to make Toucan bigger. Tap Add Code, add a When Game Starts, and then add a green Grow By block. I want Toucan to grow by 100%. Press play and let's check it out. Wow, what a great tail! Looking good, Toucan. Now that you know how to make a tail, play around with it. Change the color, the length, the character, whatever you want. It's up to you. I'll catch you later, because I've got some pie to eat. Happy hopscotching!